Welcome back to the channel, guys. So the Polymega drama is thick for sure, and there is some new allegations, some new shenanigans that are being alleged, and I wanted to report on this. So we've been following Polymega for quite some time now. In the beginning, when it was first announced and it was an FPGA-based modular system, I was kind of intrigued, right? And we've been following it since then. Things have drastically changed. The FPGA is out with the possibility of future FPGA modules. That kind of changed right before the crowdfunding campaign went into effect. A lot of people didn't know what was going on. Their website was having issues. Third-party investment things going on. A lot of weirdness that some people have questioned, right? And then not too long ago, they had a little Twitter meltdown. Their response is very passive-aggressive and negative in nature. Not a very good look for an unproven company with a product that is not in people's hands as of yet. And then, at that time, they had a huge announcement coming. That announcement came, and it turned out that, hey, they're delaying the system due to upgrades. Who would have thought, right? We kind of all called it. That was what was going to happen. But lately, their responses on Twitter, the posts they have been making, have not been that passive-aggressive nonsense. So I kind of dismissed some things as of late and just figured, you know what? Maybe they had a little meeting and they said, you know what? Our PR is looking like shit right now. We need to get this together and do some things to interact with the community in a more positive light. So they've been posting videos of Sega Saturn footage. They've been posting screenshots like this. They had a little contest yesterday, a little trivia thing where they gave away a Polymega hat, a little cap. And I thought that was kind of cool. Those are the kind of things you want to do. So I was like, you know what? Maybe the drama is over for now as far as the things they're putting out there. Still want to keep tabs on what's going on with this system. But now this comes to light. I've been shown this, given information concerning some skepticism that this may not be a real picture. This may be a faked screenshot. And we're going to take a look at some of that information. And also Polymega has responded. So I figured it was only fair to incorporate all the responses, everything that's going on out there, to try to play it fair. You know what I'm saying? So I did look at this and saw like, hey, you know what? This looks pretty neat. I think I dismissed it when it was first put up a few days ago, just, whatever. And it's like, yes, this composite filter really does look like composite. Now, I'm no CRT filter scientist. I'm no, I don't know everything with this kind of stuff. I'm no expert. I do know a bit, but there's plenty of people out there who know a hell of a lot more than I do. And one such person would be Renee from DB Electronics. Now, I don't know Renee personally. I do own some of the products that he has made, and I think they're awesome. I don't necessarily think he has any kind of vested interest in emulation devices or, cartridges, stuff like that, like some people have accused. I mean, his products that he's produced, that he's put out there for people, I don't really think has shit to do with any of this kind of stuff. But he did post this little blog article, very professional website. I would definitely recommend taking a look at it because he always has some interesting things going on here. But here we go. Fake Polymega composite filter pictures. Let's go ahead and go through this real quick. It's not a very long article. So he's stating that he stumbled across these two Twitter posts. Boom, the composite and RGB filter, and the composite one immediately caught his eye. And he theorizes that it's not an actual filter, but more a close-up picture of a CRT. So he posts both of their Twitter posts here. And then he also has images archived in case they were deleted, which I don't think they're going to delete anything. But as a company, crowdfunding, any kind of thing going on out there, people are documenting every step of the way. Polymega is no different. There are people out there etching in stone every minute, every hour of every day of everything that Polymega does. I find it fairly interesting. I do keep tabs on these things, but no company is, greater than any kind of, scrutiny or being documented. So people are out there watching and documenting. It's the history, right? So people want to know in case something flip-flops really hard, which in my opinion, it's already flip-flopped quite a bit. But if things do not come to fruition, everything is documented. Or if things just take a whole different turn for the worse, everything is documented. So here we go. Continuing on. The problem has to do with how a CRT is constructed as opposed to how an LCD is constructed. So right here, he's showing LCD pixels, and you see they're adjacent to each other. He has some further pictures down that kind of show this a little more clearly. But as you see, you'll have the red, blue, green. Everything is next to each other. Each pixel keeps flowing as if it's a square next to a square next to a square, going left from right, up and down. Everything is adjacent to each other, right next to each other. A CRT doesn't have pixels per se, but the grid of color elements is presented in an offset grid. So each adjacent pixel is offset, and that is very clear when you look at this. Red, green, blue, and then going next, the next set of, if you want to call them pixels, the red, green, blue, they kind of meet in the middle, so they're not right next to each other. To the left or to the right, the next two pixels or color elements of red, green, blue, they kind of meet in the middle. So the top of the bottom one, the bottom of the top one meet in the middle of the one to the left or the one to the right. So they're not squared up to each other. Very apparent, especially when you look at this image here. This is a little closer to what a CRT is, red, green, blue, and then boom, right in the middle, the next two set on the left, they're not right next to each other. They meet in the middle of that one, and the pattern continues. LCDs just keeps flowing like a square right next to a square. Everything is adjacent. So he goes on to say, now look at a close-up of the supposed filters. You know, Polymega is just a small computer outputting HDMI to a modern display. On the left is the CRT filter, which shows CRT geometry according to how he has displayed it here. I mean, he's not doctored these photos in any way, but how he's showing it does clearly look like CRT geometry. And then the RGB looks like, you know, how an LCD looks. So that's why he is stating this. This is his opinion. He is thinking these are, you know, this composite picture anyway is a faked image where they use two different displays to demonstrate this. This is not necessarily my opinion. This is what he has put out, and it definitely looks like that in my eyes. I'm no expert, but being presented this, I do clearly see what he is stating. So he's just saying, beware of Polymega. Beware of anybody asking for money up front on something and you don't have a firm release date. You don't know what the hell is going on. Crowdfunding campaigns definitely should be, you know, held to the microscope, be scrutinized, and, you know, definitely be skeptical of these kind of things. Now, going back to these, like the RGB filter, the responses were fairly positive. There was nothing crazy going on here. I did notice, you know, there's some tweets that are unavailable. I don't know what the hell that is. Was that something Polymega responded and then deleted later? Is that somebody that has me blocked? I don't freaking know. I don't know how Twitter works. Educate me if you so choose. But I did notice that on both posts. This one, they were called out here. It would take at least an 8K monitor to simulate a slot mask CRT to this detail level. I've worked the maths before. This is a hashtag bullshot, right? And then some tweets unavailable. Like I said, I don't know what the hell that means, but just wanted to point that out. Now, the other day with their little contest they did showcase NES baseball on CRT through the Polymega. So they do have a CRT there, right? But going forward, when I saw this, I was like, you know, this footage, it's really, or this image anyway, it's really striking me odd when I'm looking at DB Electronics' article with the information he has presented. And he did, you know, hit them up. Like, I believe this is fake, you know, and asked them, is this fake? And they did respond. And the earlier response they had, which was a compressed video that was up on Twitter, it looked like crap. And the response to that was pretty much like, hey, this is just a blurry, crappy ass image. And it doesn't really mean anything. You know, they're saying that, hey, this is real. They have a very talented team working on this project. But from this footage that you're looking at right here, looks like shit. It's very compressed. At first, I was like, did they do this on purpose? Is this just Twitter's compression? What's going on? And then there was a lot of people going back talking about this. A lot of the guys who really know what's up. And boom, that was where we were initially left until I saw that they did follow up with a Google Drive link with an uncompressed image here. So let's go ahead and lower this because we don't really need the fuzz going on. But here is their image, their video showing both filters being done live off camera. They're in composite, boom, and they are using this demo, what is it called, Titan, like tech demo type thing. And it does look fairly interesting. So they do kind of give a little close up here, and looking at the image and the pixels, it is a little, you know, it is a little tough to see, but you can kind of see that the filters are looking fairly similar to what their posts were before. At least in my eyes, very similar. I'm not saying they're exact. I'm not saying there is any shenanigans going on, and I'm not saying there's no shenanigans going on. I am not certain. I am not an expert. So here we go. Now they're going to go to composite, and this is the one that was really questionable as far as the CRT geometry goes. And it's still kind of tough to see, you know, the shaky cam footage going on, but you can kind of see that at work here. And people are still skeptical regardless. And I'm going to leave that up to you. A lot of people still like, I'm not 100% with this. Show, you know, captured footage, even though a lot of people are like, we want to see off camera footage, that kind of thing. So people are still going to call them out on this. Not really 100% the things that were going on. DB Electronics has kind of, you know, stated what he had to state with this initial video. It doesn't dissuade any of his opinions or thoughts because it was too damn grainy. And then I do think with them putting the Google Drive link of the better quality video, you know, and their responses aren't necessarily crazy, I think. They did ask him to amend his article. I don't know where that's going to go. None of my business, to be honest with you. But his DB Electronics response is, your filter can't change the alignment of the LCD pixels as shown in your original close-up. Also, this video was shot with a potato. That potato is pretty good. I give it that. It was okay. I can't make out any details in there. And he's right. Some of the details, it's kind of hard to see to where you can make it a direct comparison to this. It is tough to make a direct comparison from this footage to this still shot. It is difficult. So I give him that. I'm not 100% with that. But he goes on, in any case, if the original Sonic One shot is real, which I suspect it isn't, then it's a compliment to your product. And I would definitely say so as well. If they have been able to achieve these things with that quality in that original tweet, that is pretty damn cool. Else provide shots which clearly show the composite filter in action in the square LCD pixel geometry. I'm no longer replying to this thread. They're all real, and we'll be posting the direct feed in a few minutes, which they did. So there we go. Not 100%. A lot of people still questioning what's going on here. I still have my doubts with what's going on here. But like I stated, I am no expert. I look to the experts for these kind of things, and I'm glad DB Electronics had brought this up. It is healthy to be skeptical of things that you're unsure of, and I still find this to be something to be dug into a little deeper. Polymega, their responses so far have not really been on the attack. Like I said, they did ask DB Electronics, from what I seen earlier, if he could amend his article. Not my problem, not my concern. Don't know if he's going to do it. Don't care if he's going to do it. He presented a very informative article that gave us information we can use as potential consumers to be skeptical, to want more information, to have an unproven company prove themselves. And, you know, a lot of people look at me as a very negative Nancy, a Debbie Downer with some things. And I don't think I am. I don't want people to be screwed over. I don't want to be screwed over. I've been screwed over in the past. I want to make sure people are getting what they expected to get. And if a company's going to present a product, that's the product, and how they present it, that's what is going to be sold to you. So, hey, really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thumbs up if you're a skeptic. Thumbs down if you're a Polymega fanboy and you don't care about anything. It's what you want. You don't care. It is what it is. Either way, you interacted with my video, so I appreciate it. You mean the world to me. Peace out and Polymega. Boom. Bye-bye.